What is going on, wrestling fans? It is WWE at Home 219 here with my Raw review for May 13th, 2013, the Go Home show leading up to Extreme Rules. So we'd see Y2J and Fandango do a little dance off, pretty stupid. Fandango, the first time, would decide not to dance, but then the second time he would start dancing. Summer Rae would turn her ankle, and then Fandango would act like he was going to walk away, but then he would cheap shot Chris Jericho, basically just leading up to their matchup at Extreme Rules, and this was a very dumb segment. Dance Off really isn't what I'd like to be seeing on Monday Night Raw, so I'll give it an F. Next up, we would see Ryback, the number one contender for the WWE Championship, take on Zack Ryder. You know how that one goes. Shell Shock wins it for Ryback in a very, very short matchup that I'll give an F. And now I would like to bring in my friend, and he'll be part of our wrestling show if you haven't subscribed to it, is Aaron Oros. Aaron, welcome. Welcome to the show. So Aaron joined in to this Raw with me during this matchup. Team Tons of Funk would take on the Primetime Players. A cover came out of nowhere. I really didn't even see it happen, but the Primetime Players somehow got the victory, and there wasn't really nothing to it. I'll give it an F.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, they're all pointless.
Yep. All right. So next we see Teddy Long come out and basically tell us that Dolph, we already knew that he suffered a concussion on SmackDown last Friday, and he can't wrestle at Extreme Rules. So now they're going to do a Swagger versus Del Rio number one contenders match and an I Quit matchup. I'm not too excited about that whatsoever. We've already seen Del Rio and Swagger a million times before, so I'll just give that an F.
Yeah. Very disappointed that Dolph can't compete. He's one of my favorites. I think by far he's the best that they have. So really disappointed, but yeah, him and Swagger and Del Rio is kind of getting a little bit old.
Oh, there.
I really wish. I mean, if they're not going to turn Randy heel, might as well have him get involved maybe. I like him and Dolph in the ring together, but yeah, I'd give it an F. I could really give two shits.
So then we'd see United States Champion Kofi Kingston take on Damian Sandow. They would announce, though, at Extreme Rules, Kofi Kingston will try to defend his title against Dean Ambrose of the Shield. Very excited for that matchup. It was a very quick matchup. Once again, it seemed to be a theme for tonight's matches as Kofi would defeat Damian Sandow with the Trouble in Paradise. I'll give it a D.
I'm a big Kofi fan. I like what he has to offer. Very athletic. I actually think if he improved a couple things, he could actually be a major title winner. But yeah, very short match. I'm not a fan of Damian Sandow. Never really have been. But yeah, very quick, pretty predictable match. I feel like all of them is kind of holding over to the pay-per-view, so I'll give it a D as well. It's not very good.
All right, so now please help me in welcoming my other friend, Brett Pascal. Brett, how's it going? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Fit you in here.
Hey, how you doing? You gotta, you know.
All right, got it. Slide this over here.
I mean,
So Brett came in for this promo here. Mark Henry would come out with a rope, and basically they would announce that there would be a strap match between Mark Henry and Sheamus. He would call out Sheamus, and some weird shit would go on. I don't care about this feud whatsoever or this match at Extreme Rules. I'll give it an F.
Mark Henry is old. Mark Henry is fat. And Mark Henry is okay, maybe not fat. He's strong, but his thing is irrelevant to me. Same old, and
But that's what he do.
yeah,
First
that's
off,
what he
the
does.
feud's irrelevant.
The feud is irrelevant.
Sheamus has lost a lot of steam since he lost the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
So, if anything, he needs to either turn heel or take a break for a while and then come back and maybe start this feud again. But right now, this feud's completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
The whole WWE right now is actually on a downslope since after WrestleMania when everybody left. The Rock, CM Punk.
Well, let's get this going. All right, so then we'd see Cesaro take on Randy Orton. An RKO would come out of nowhere. I honestly did not see. I knew Randy was going to win, but I didn't see the RKO coming. It really, like I said, came out of nowhere, and I'm going to give it a D+, and we've seen this matchup plenty of times.
I don't like Cesaro. Do like Randy. I like to see Randy RKO people out of nowhere. It's pretty cool to see.
What would you give it?
I'd give it a D-.
Wow.
Not, yeah.
What do you think? Randy and this.
I give it an F just because it's another pointless match, and it's just because it's moved to 3 hours, so they have to have some type of match in there, so they're just throwing a side match like Randy Orton versus Sertabano. So
Sertabano.
All right, so we would see next Heath Slater take on The Miz. What's the point of this?
Oh, man.
I'll give it an F.
Yeah, Miz, preached he's back. I don't even know when he left.
Yeah.
Again, let's
Well,
give it if there's an F minus, it would get an F minus.
I give it a G. So.
All right, he gives it a G. So then we would see the elimination six-man tag match. John Cena would team up with Team Hell No versus The Shield. Best match of the night so far. That's not saying much though. Kane would get counted out and then he would actually get DQ'd for using the announce table's cover. All right, he's dead.
Yeah, he wasn't.
So then it was a pretty long matchup. Daniel Bryan had some cool moves in there. Like Brett and me have said a lot of times, Daniel Bryan's kind of put in the wrong gimmick right now as his wrestling skills haven't been shown off as well. But we got to see a lot of those cool moves in this matchup. Ambrose would eliminate Bryan, and AA would happen to Rollins. Reigns would shove the ref. He'd get DQ'd, so then it'd be Cena versus Ambrose. In the final two, it would look like John Cena was going to AA Ambrose, but then Reigns and Rollins would come in and save Ambrose from that, as the Shield would technically lose this matchup, but they didn't lose by pinfall. They would triple powerbomb Cena afterwards. I'll give it a B-.
Considering it was the best match of the night, I'll give it a B+. Only because it was a great display of wrestling, not so much the plot, because you knew it was going to happen either way. The Shield's not going to go down for a while. I don't know when they're going to go down, but they're going to go down eventually, probably bearing the return of CM Punk. But yeah, like I said, a B+. It's a good display of wrestling, and you really saw a hint of what Daniel Bryan used to do when he was by himself.
So then you'd see Big E take on Jack Swagger, a rare heel versus heel matchup. It was longer than I expected, but it was kind of boring. A countout would win it for Jack Swagger. I'll give it a C-.
I'm just not going to give it a grade because it's stupid. So.
All right, no grade from Brett. So then we'd see Natalya versus AJ. AJ would win via submission. I'll give it an F.
Again, it's not even worth it.
And he's not going to give you a grade either, even though he told me before this he was going to give it a B just because he got to see Natalya tap out by slapping AJ's ass.
I did like that. That I did like.
All right, come back in here, faggot.
So we better watch your mouth.
Okay,
so last segment would be Brock Lesnar and Triple H going face to face. Triple H would be enclosed by the steel cage. Paul Heyman and Brock would then come out, and Paul Heyman kept emphasizing the word hate. Don't know what's going on there. Brock isn't fighting tonight, he would say. Triple H would invite Brock into the ring. He'd call him a bitch, and then we'd see Brock come down there, and they would start fighting, and Triple H would send Brock through the steel cage door. I guess you could say Triple H has the advantage going in Extreme Rules. This ending segment was pretty solid. I'll give it a B- just because we got to see them fight a little bit. Raw overall, though, I will give an F. Aaron.
Yeah. I like Triple H. I like Brock Lesnar, but I hate to say it, but I think this feud's kind of getting a little old. I hope this is it after this match. Really do. The ending was interesting. I like to see that Brock got in there and they scrapped a little bit, but yeah, this Raw was horrible. So yeah, it's an F.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all. Compared to a lot of Raws. I mean, since they went to 3 hours, they kind of lost a lot of its flavor. But this one wasn't very good, just because. And you'd figure it'd be better since the last Raw before the pay-per-view, but yeah, this one was a complete failure. The Brock Lesnar and Triple H thing is, they're dragging it on because they have nothing else to start a story with. They have no other routes, no other plans. They have no backups right now, especially with CM Punk being hurt. I mean, even if he does come back, what are they going to do with him right now? Unless him and Cena have another rivalry just to get the ratings up. But the overall show, I'll give it a C+. But it wasn't. I still don't even think it deserves that kind of a grade.
All right, so there is our thoughts about tonight's Raw. Follow us on Twitter underneath here. There's our Twitter handles. Like and subscribe to my channel. And take it easy, guys.